Hi there everybody and welcome to Web Design TV, which is brought to you by the makers of .NET Magazine. I'm Wyatt and today we're going to be looking at preloaders. Now preloaders are pretty essential on the internet for web work over a certain size. If you've got a large animation or website which you've created, it's no good just sticking it up there on the internet because it will, say it's a couple of megabytes, it will judder and start as it downloads, as it starts to play. Very bad experience for the end viewer. So what a preloader does, as the name suggests, preloads all that data. It gets it all together, says it's ready to go, and then launches the animation or website. Now it's really easy to put one into your animation or your website, and over the next 10 minutes or so you'll learn how to add a scene to your movie to contain the preloader code, how to use a dynamic text layer to show the percentage of your movie loaded. We'll hook it all together with a little bit of action script. There's very little action script in this project, not much required at all to make a preloader. We'll then use something called the bandwidth profiler, and we'll use that to simulate download speeds straight within Flash, which is pretty cool, because you can check how your animation will preload over certain download speeds. So straight into it, and on the stage here you may be wondering why we have this animation of a dog here with clouds and a parachute. Well, this is our animation, and it's not overly huge. It's about 140k I think when it's exported as a SWF. But regardless of that, we're going to stick a preloader in because you can't guarantee who's got what connection, and it's, we want to display this animation as it was created to be seen, so we'll stick a preloader in. To do that, we'll add in a scene, a separate scene, and stick the code and what we need in there. Now I'm going to do a bit of shameless self-promotion here and show you my website, which has an example of this preloader and is the one that we're going to be creating. Now as you can see, how it loads 1 to 100% and then plays out the animation to get rid of that. So it's quite a straightforward, quite a simple looking, quite easy to make preloader, which we start doing by going up to the window menu, and then if we move down to other panels, and then in other panels you've got scene, so click that. So you've only got one scene in this movie, but click the little plus sign and we'll add another one. There you go, see, we've been brought straight into it. Now for some quirky reason it's called scene 3 instead of scene 2. That's possibly because there used to be a scene 2 in this movie, so Flash must have a very long elephant's memory. So let's just double click that and we'll call it preloader. Now as it is, if we were to play this animation, it would play the animation and then play the then play the preloader, which is pretty useless. So we need to move that, and we do that by just clicking it and dragging it up to the top of the stack there. There you go. So it's really quite straightforward. The first scene there will be the first one that plays. So preloader, then scene 1, which is exactly what we want. So let's just move that over there. Got a blank stage there, so let's rename this first layer up there and let's change that to loading graphic. Pull that out of it, and what we'll do there is create a graphic that says loading or loading content, loading animation. So let's just get the properties inspector up so I can see all the options there for text. Don't want dynamic text, static text will do. Click on the stage and we'll just type in loading, or please wait. No, loading. Get that. Move that to the center. You can create an animation, a very light, I must add, animation. You can make that blink or slightly fade in and fade out. But remember, you have to keep it light because this is the thing that first hits the browser. It's no good doing a full-blown animation here because it's defeating the point of doing a preloader. So there's our loading signifier. That's what the visitor will see as soon as the movie hits the browser. Next up, we need to create another layer here, and we'll call it dynamic text, And guess what we're going to create in there? We're going to create some dynamic text. So click the T symbol there for text. That's already set down there in the Properties Inspector to dynamic text. Switch it over from static text if it isn't. We'll click into the layer. We'll pull out that box. This box will contain the 0 to 100%. The code, the action script, which we'll add in a couple of steps, will return a value. That value will be seen in that dynamic text box. Now for the stylistically concerned ones of you out there, let's just check what font that was. I think that was, yeah, it's Arial. So if you click within the dynamic text box, whatever settings you set down here, set to Arial at 14 point, it will, that's what will be